Dallas at the New York Jets, Jets, plus 2.5. Guess what, Simon? The New York Jets are going to be our brass balls bet of the week.
It takes brass balls.
I wanted this at 3. This could have been a Chad Loves. I wanted it at 3. It didn't get there until after our show on Tuesday. I did bet it at 3, even with some extra juice, just because I wanted that insurance on the Jets. I feel like the Jets are going to be in our money line, underdog, round robin, parlay. It's clearly the sharp side of the New York Jets. You can, here's my questions for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What would you say has been the strength of the Dallas Cowboys this year?
Easy, Dak.
Do you know how many points a game they are scoring?
30? 29?
28.5, fifth in the league.
Yeah, sounds right.
2 40-point games this season. Do you know how many games Justin Fields has won when the opponent scores more than 21 points?
I mean, going back to his Bears years, probably 0.
0.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think he is 0-24 when the opponents score 21 points. Here's why this is our brass balls bet of the week. The Jets have given up this year 34, 30, 29, and 27. The good news is that they are giving up fewer and fewer points every week. So could this be the week where they get a team to score less than 20 points? I don't know, but they're going to be our brass balls bet of the week.
Yeah, and it's a unique spot for this Jets team that they're going against a defense that is, like Chad just said, is as bad as their own defense. And they're inflated, Dallas, right now. Like this, the public is going to have a love affair with them. They're going to be all in on Dak, loving Dak for good reason. Like we talked about coming into the year. Everyone had forgotten about Dak left over dead, and I was the one down the table saying, this guy is still a really high-level guy. I get the pieces around him are very bad, but they're going to steal games this year. They're going to be a competitive team just because that Pickens ad, to me, was one of the bigger sneaky ads of the whole year, where it's like what he does really well is some of Dak's favorite balls. Those tight throws on the sideline, Dak loves and is really good at throwing them. That's like Pickens money. Like he's so good in those small windows. So, a guy that is going to have a good matchup against this defense of the Jets, because I think we could both agree Sauce is not –
No.
Whatever that was, and they paid him, that's like the fear of every owner. He just has – whatever is going on with him off the field has to have been affecting him on the field, because we know the raw talent is there. Like he has got the skills. He's just not that player anymore. So that's the scary part, is that he will be on Pickens, but thank God – no CD here. And that to me is a big deal where, Ferguson has really excelled this year, their tight end for Dallas, and that's going to be another way for this Dallas team to attack. But I think the fact that we can have Sauce on a number 1 and now the game's going to be forced to a tight end in the middle, that's going to benefit this Jets team. And offensively, we haven't even talked about it. I love this matchup for Fields and this run game. And like you said,
that's why I like it.
Yeah, that game against Miami, if they could just hold on to the ball, they would have won that game, I feel like. Like, especially once that defense in Miami got tired, it was over. That's the thing with Fields. He'll wear you out, especially with that run game. They have to win this game. Like we said, this is another desperate team in a desperate spot, and we have no doubt the Jets are one of the worst teams in football. Like I before the year, I closed my eyes. I could see how they could do it. They could win games this year, and they could be a team. And they've had the opportunities, right? They could easily be 2-2. Like they've had games that they could have stolen and won. And, I guess we should have known, like that Pittsburgh game week 1, that sums up these two teams, right? Tomlin, whatever, magical win. Jets found a way to lose that game. And that's what they've done this year. They're same old Jets. So 2.5, 3, this is a Jets number. Like Chad said, this is going to be the professional side. The square side is no doubt the Dallas side. And just people out there, I get it. This is historically a great spot for Dak. This is the exact team he beats up on. I know MetLife, too. Has he ever lost more than 2 games at MetLife in his career? No. He's dominated the Giants his whole life. So this is probably a good spot for Dak historically playing at MetLife, but I think at the end of the day, it comes back to them being overrated, a little inflated. Like I said on Sunday's show, I don't know if Dallas can be favored against bad teams anymore. To me, they are just simply a bad team. This should be closer to a pick. They're getting the Dak bump. Like this 2.5 is truly reflective of just how good Dak has been this season. You know, scary bet. Like Chad said, this is our brass balls bet. You need to, just like last week, we said, when we're taking these bets, you got to have some balls here for people to take them. So I love that we're all aligned on this side. Give me the Jets plus 2.5.
This is the prime time tie bump for the Dallas Cowboys, not the win. The best they can get is a tie, and everyone's all in on the Dallas Cowboys because they did something against a team that a lot of people think can go to the Super Bowl. So, like I think we said this on Tuesday, this is the ultimate buy low, sell high spot because we had back-to-back primetime teams looking as good as one can look and as bad as one can look. Jets, Jets, brass balls. Bet of the week. New York Giants at New Orleans Saints. You mentioned this from Sharp Calls. I was honestly going to leave this one out because the line had moved so much from Saints +2 on Sunday night when we did like it to -2. It seemed to me the value was gone. We were texting earlier this morning about some games. You brought this one up. Could we conceivably, responsibly, professionally bet on Spencer Rattler as a 2-point home favorite? Is there something that makes us comfortable giving away 4 points of value? Don't we want to get the best of the number?
It was 3 points, right? It's -1.5. It was they were +1.5, but
they were +2 on Sunday night. There are places where they're -2 now,
and that helps no one here. Don't talk about that line because again, I got that, but who cares? I put a penny on that. So did our listeners if they even bet it. But to me, this is the line people are going to bet. I really think it's really about me thinking Spencer Rattler is much better than people think, and I believe it was Pro Football Focus had him as their 18th graded highest quarterback right now this season. Like he's actually played really well, and the numbers bear that out. Not only using his legs, but he's been really effective on third down. And this is really about the spot. And on Jaxson Dart, what I do like what he's done with his legs, and I did think he had some good throws. They've lost the guy. They lost Malik Neighbors. I don't think we can understand how big of a deal that is. Where this guy was basically their offense. If they needed just a prayer on third down, that was the guy they would turn to every play. And then you factor in that this is Dart's second start now after a win, and now he's on the road. And I think we both agree, even the Saints suck, that's a pretty tough environment to play indoors in that dome. So let's go into the numbers. So QBs making their, first couple starts the last 5 years. So this is a second career start. On the road in this spot, these young quarterbacks, 13-34 straight up. So historically, a really bad spot for these guys to be in. Dart, I'll give him, like I said, the credit. He can use his legs. That is a weapon. That will benefit him against a Saints team that they do have a lot of holes in their defense, especially at the linebacker position that, even if they try to QB spy Dart, I don't know if they have a guy that can really take that away. He's injured. Like I saw a thing about a guy that he's wearing it's his type of sleeve on his leg that basically keeps your leg warm for bad hamstrings. So does he have an injury here? I think he does. So I don't think he'll be able to use his legs, which again, another advantage to us with the Saints side. And this will be a side that no one's going to bet but professionals, Chad. Like this is going to be, the public is going to come in on the Giants. No one's betting the Saints. Like we said, Spencer Rattler, he's never won a game in his career. He's 0 for 10 in his career, and he's now a favorite. The Saints viewed from the public as the worst team of football because they're bad. They're 0-4. They're a favorite at home here. So I love that the public's on the other side of this. I'm with you. Obviously, I wish this was still +2. This would have been a no-brainer. Would have forced it into our contest. At 1.5, I get your hesitation because with bad teams, you do want the best of the number. But I love this spot for the Saints team for this matchup. And just them being desperate. I can't talk about enough people with sports. Being desperate, especially as a professional, it's a real thing. Like I don't know if you watched the Ben Johnson speech after that Raiders game. He talked about that how
Yeah.
desperate both teams were, and you could sense it. And that's why that's such a huge win, because it's like you need it. You're dying for it. There's nothing worse as a competitor than losing week in and week out. So I just can't help but feel like the Giants are going to be feeling themselves, are going to be feeling good about a huge win against the Chargers. Now going against the Saints team that every week, for the most part, other than that Seahawks game, they've been close. They've been in these games, and they've been hungry. So I'm pitching it to you hard. I want you to come on the Saints side, but I'm worried the fans are like you. They're just like, this is so gross. I don't trust Rattler as a favorite, but I'm telling you, it's a good number. This should be 2.5. Should be closer to 3. I think we're getting a good deal here on the Saints side.
I don't need that much convincing on the Saints. Like, I've wanted to be on them the whole week, and just bummed about the number more than I am about Spencer Rattler. And we just get burned in these situations, so I'm feeling a little bit.
It's got to swing the other way though. It's been, you're right. This year it's been going the one-sided very heavily. Whenever it flips, the favorites begin burned, but that's an anomaly. Honestly, it's been very flukish. Where like that game when it keeps landing on one, and the team that became the favorite loses on the one. So I'm with you. It's been weird, but I'm trying not to overreact too much to it because it has been so flukish.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of this bet at all.